Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful day. Got this big box in the mail, and I only ordered a few comics and magazines, so I figured that Kevin Johnson at the famous store Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, must have included a surprise for the box to be that big. And he just sent this to me for free because he knew I'd appreciate it. Look, it's a Halloween costume officially licensed from, I guess, the Bela Lugosi estate when he played Igor. How about that? From Retro A Go-Go. Man. Look at that, man. It normally retails for $29.99. And he sent this to me for free. What a great guy, man. Wonder if I can get the tag off. Because if something ever happens to me, my wife will go through it and say, he spent $30? No, I didn't spend, no. So, no, I'm really wanting to get the tag off because then I can believe in my mind that this came out in the 60s or the 50s and that it cost, like $1. But that's the main reason I'm getting this $29.99 price tag off. Come on, man. It's coming off fine, man. Retro A Go-Go is a great, I don't know if they're just mail order or if they have a store. I think they might have a store somewhere in the United States, but this is, I'm constantly surprised that I haven't ever ordered anything from them. I bought some of their stuff through Gotham City Comics, but I've never made an order directly to Retro A Go-Go, and it's like a store that was open for me. Yeah, I see the tag came off fine. Look at this. Really cool packaging. Looks like it came out in the good old days. Okay. Now let's see what we've got here. This must be the comic book part. Everything's always sealed tremendously well. That was really there to protect it. And then in order to protect the costume, he sent me where is that? Hold on a second. I'm not as spry as I used to be. Damn it. Shit. Hold on. He tore up this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles box, and which that's not my childhood Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it looks like this was probably a cool box if I was in. But anyway, that was just on top to make sure the postman didn't damage the Igor costume. So that's the type packing material that he uses. That, yeah, I was just a little too. I remember, I've told you the story a million times. I remember in Lone Star Comics seeing the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the stand, which is now worth thousands of dollars, and I just said, this looks like this was drawn by college students or talented high school kids, and they're just trying to do this funny little parody of Ronin and X-Men, and I thought, man, I'm not going to waste my money on this little comic, but I should have, oh well, who cares. All right, so I do have some cool comics here. Let's see what I got. It's the facsimile of Fantastic Four number 50. Now, I have Fantastic Four number 49. The Galactus trilogy stretches over 48, 49, and 50. And this has been reproduced as facsimile form because the movie's coming out Friday, which is amazingly getting tremendous reviews. And the Disney Channel, Disney Plus, whatever you call it, they have the first 5 minutes of the movie up, and it does actually look good. I mean, I guess I can get past. You know, when Alex Ross did that painted comic, oversized Treasury edition a few years ago, and he used the cast of Land of the Giants as the Fantastic Four, Deanna Lund and as Sue Storm, who was the stewardess on the Land of the Giants space aircraft, and man, his name's on the tip of my tongue. The guy that played I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, that was the hero, the main heroic lead of Land of the Giants. Man, his name will come to me as soon as I end the show, but he was a perfect Reed Richards. So he used, I think he had a box set of the Land of the Giants DVDs and was freeze framing them and then painting every panel for that. So anyway, this is, I'll never be able to afford this original one, so I got this. I've always loved this ad. Grow 7 monsters. There's your hair growing. We're going. You can grow hair on your head or on your monsters. Yeah, this was the high mark of everything, of the Silver Age, this wonderful... and they're saying that the female Silver Surfer isn't really that obnoxious either. I don't know. We'll see. Well, or in my case, I won't see because, well, yeah, I'll drive. I'll have to drive an hour to see that movie, but I don't think it's going to play here locally. September 2025. I think this was right around the time I was born, 1965. That was the height of the Silver Age. It's cool, man. It's just great. These facsimiles are the greatest thing going right now. I'm telling you, someday you're gonna kick yourself. This is the best thing. You gotta get these books. He sent me this thank you card from eBay, which I guess is a joke. I don't know. I'll put it here. I'll save it. I don't know what. Let's see. Oh, I think he sent me this as a little freebie. It must be Free Comic Book Day. Where is it? Or is this a real comic book? I guess this is that new Aquaman. Yeah, I think this was in my pile, but I think he just sent me this one free. That's cool. I was eager to read this. They kind of rebooting Aquaman, I guess. See, I heard good things about it. Okay, and this Rogue in the Savage Land. Oh man, the cat's moving my tripod. Cat, what are you doing? This cat is evil. Drew the dog is at the vet because they said she needed a teeth cleaning. So I took her in at 8 this morning, and she was terrified to get out of the car because she could hear some dogs barking from the kennel there. But then once she got in there, man, she completely forgot about me and was licking the lady that weighed her, and she didn't even look back. So, but I have to go back at 3:30 to pick her up, because they gotta give her some. They gotta knock her out. Anesthesia. I was about to say euthanasia, but that's the wrong word. Anesthesia, so they could do her teeth, because I guess you can't just tell a dog to open wide, keep your mouth open. That doesn't work. So anyway, she's gonna have cleaner teeth than me. Trust me, when she gets through. This is series, possibly a mini series that is modern. It's a current comic that appealed to me, and so once I get the whole set, I'll read them and I'll tell you what I think. But right now, from what I've heard from people that have read it and everything, that it's a decent comic book for today. You know, I don't know how long this is gonna go. Yeah, it's all right. We'll how about that? So, got Aquaman, Rogue, a Fantastic Four facsimile. Listening to some music I created on Suno.com about Magnus Robot Fighter and Dr. Solar, or also in my mind I always pronounce it Solar. I don't know why. And Turok, Son of Stone. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so a couple of facsimiles of pre-code stuff. This is from PS Art Books. These are more expensive facsimiles. They're exact facsimiles. They have the original price. I mean, they're nice, but they're like, they're $15 books. But to buy the original book would cost you hundreds, if not probably thousands, for these books. So, obviously, normal people like us aren't ever going to get those books because we're not bank robbers, criminals, or politicians, so we can't afford them. Uh-oh. This is what it looks like inside. Now that, sometimes the reproduction's not, that page isn't reproduced that well, but, maybe it didn't look good in the original version. Yeah, PS Art Books. They're out of England, I believe. And so now that I don't know how we're going to obtain these books now that Diamond has folded. I don't know how they're going to get over to this country and get distributed to comic stores. So maybe you'll have to get these through Amazon. I don't know. Get them all banged up. Holy cats! It's Callie, also known as Meowie Wowie. I didn't even mean to say holy cats. It's that's how ironic. She's one of our new kittens. Callie the cat, who was incredibly shy and terrified when we first got her, and then now she's all over you, constantly purring and very vocal, meowing all the time. Okay, and I got two facsimiles. This one's Startling Comics, number 52. They've done a lot of reproductions of Startling. This is a comic that I must have 6 or 7 issues of Startling that have been done in facsimile form. And they have these seals on the back, which sometimes, see, you can open it without damaging the seal. Originally, they had the seal where you kind of had to break it to open it. And so anyway, this barcode is not on the book. Once you pull it out, see, the barcode is on the bag. So, I'm afraid of the cat. You better not jump in this box, man. Anyway, this is what this kid's terrifying the neighborhood. Give your bike the roar of a motorcycle. Look, he's terrifying everyone. That's fantastic. The people that really own these books like this are stupid, and because they have them sealed in plastic. Now I've seen that guy on YouTube, Stinky Goose, has a video where they have he shows how comics were slabbed about 20 years ago, around 2005, 2006. They have oil deposits inside the plastic that are soaking into the comic because, plastic is made out of oil, petroleum, so, and apparently, they always said, CGC always said that it's not intended to be a permanent way to store your comics. Like, you're not supposed to entomb. It's not like you're entombing King Tut for thousands of years and he's going to be perfectly preserved. That's not how these things work. You're supposed to switch out these slabs every, 10, 15 years? That's, I don't know. That's not the way I choose to collect comics. But yeah, I've been on that rant before. But man, violence. She's Tigra. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, I've still got a few more of these facsimiles. I gotta get from him, and then maybe there won't be any more. At least until some other distributor rises up to take over from what Diamond was doing. Oh, I see. Okay, so now that's the magazine portion. They're wrapped separately. Look how well he wraps everything. It's like bubble wrap. Yeah, I remember I got the new Castle of Frankenstein and Cryptology, but beyond that, I don't really remember. Cryptology is a magazine I highly recommend. It's from the people that do Retro Fan, which is an outstanding magazine, and Back Issue, and Alter Ego, the Tomorrow's company. And I don't think many comic stores probably carry this magazine. And if they do, they probably order one copy because they figure there's only one person that'll get it. Or you have to special order it. This magazine, like Castle of Frankenstein in the 60s and part of the 70s, like the Monster Times, which was a monster newspaper that went from, what is it? Maybe it started in 71, 72, lasted until 76. Those were wonderful years. The thing about them is Monster Times and Castle of Frankenstein didn't just cover monster movies like Famous Monsters did and television. They covered monsters in all aspects of culture. Comic books, they covered comic fandom. Here's an article on Bernie Wrightson, on pulps, everything. Anywhere there are monsters, Castle of Frankenstein and Monster Times, two beloved magazines of my youth. I've even written a lot of songs about them that I've made these robots on Suno record. But just wonderful long articles in Cryptology about all of this stuff. Here's an article on the Brides of Dracula. CIA Director Brennan, something popped up, news, There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Looks like some of the previous people in power may have committed treason. So we'll see how that all pans out. Let's see if anything happens to them. 3D monsters. Yeah, see, this is great magazine. I hope it sticks around. Usually things that are this great, I have found, don't last. Great things don't last. Raiders of the Lost Ark came out, and I said, it only lasted one movie before it, the second movie was, third movie was an imitation of the first. It's like Star Wars was 3 movies, really about 2.5 movies, But it seems like everything I've always loved, great bands, they break up, they die. This is a magazine that's been out forever, Scary Monsters. But it's out the people that make Scary Monsters are doing the revival of Castle of Frankenstein. And I've always seen Scary Monsters on the stands. It was always kind of a, at Barnes Noble. I'm afraid the cat's going to jump up here. I bought issues of Scary Monsters. Usually, one thing it does great is that it'll have a lot of ad mats, newspaper ads in it. But it looks like, that's an ad mat. Actually, no, that's a reproduction of the poster. I don't have that large collection of Scary Monsters. They're a great magazine. It's just not something I bought a lot of. But now that this looks like, because it's also pretty expensive. But anyway, Scary Monsters. Man, the cat's trying to get in this box. Okay, shit. Okay, so we got Scary Monsters, Cryptology, and then this is a magazine called Eerie. Very similar to a magazine called Eerie that was spelled E-E-R-I-E from Warren back in the 60s and 70s. But this is this is a preview of issue 3. This is done by a guy named Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman does all the art in this, but he does it in different styles to make it look like there's a bunch of different artists, but it's all him. Sometimes he calls himself Von Hoffman. I know there's a company called Warrant that does a comic called Shudder that's almost exactly like this. That's a tribute to Warren's Creepy and Eerie and Vampirella, and they also do Vampirus Carmilla. But this is a separate venture from a separate company, separate guy. He's been doing this for years. But he's restarted it with issue 1 last month because I guess he got better distribution or something. But he's been doing this Eerie spelled with a Y for a long time. Okay, is that everything? Oh no, I didn't show you the Castle of Frankenstein. Ooh, this is thick. This is thicker than any issue of Castle of Frankenstein that ever came out, ever. Castle of Frankenstein number 41. Now, there really haven't been that many issues of Castle of Frankenstein, in my opinion. See, Castle of Frankenstein started about 1960. The first issue was called Journal of Frankenstein. I have all the ones from the 60s, although there's one issue I've got I really need to upgrade the condition that has Mr. Spock on the cover. Castle of Frankenstein, the original publisher is long gone. He was an interesting guy. He was... These cats are wanting to mess up things here. This is really almost like a coffee table book, but anyway, this Castle of Frankenstein was one of my favorite magazines. They put some artwork in here. There's an article about games, a lot of love for EC. The publisher of Castle of Frankenstein was that had a network of friends into science fiction and horror. One of them was Robert Bloch, famous horror writer, and author of the book Psycho that the Hitchcock movie was based on. When Robert Bloch published Psycho, everyone in that circle of friends knew he based Norman Bates on the publisher of Castle of Frankenstein. It was an open secret that Norman Bates' personality, everything about him was exactly the guy that used to do Castle of Frankenstein. Anyway, Castle of Frankenstein was published from like 60 to like 1975. I think the last issue, some of the had Golden Voyage of Sinbad or The Exorcist, around that time period. The early to about 1974, 75 is when Castle of Frankenstein folded. And then it was brought back in the 90s by different people. I think the people that do Scary Monsters. And I didn't buy a single copy of it. It didn't look good. It just didn't look good. They had one of the original guys that was still alive that painted some of the Castle of Frankenstein covers, do some covers, but it was just, I didn't accept it. I did not accept it as a real Castle of Frankenstein, but they counted that in the numbering. And then they revived this. This is probably maybe the 5th or 6th issue of this new revival, which I approve of. So to me, it's not really issue 41. Now, you may think, how did a magazine get published from 1960, 61? Maybe it was 59. It was started as a Famous Monsters imitation. How did it go all the way to the mid-70s? It only get up to like the issue 32 or something, or it might have been 20, because it was Calvin Beck was the name of the publisher. Sometimes he'd publish it once a year. Sometimes it might be a year and a half. Sometimes he'd get a couple issues out a year. It was published very erratically. So if you had a subscription, you're sweating bullets probably. All right, what else in this box? Oh yeah. Oh, there's something folded up in there. What could that be? Wonder what's in this. It might not be anything. I don't know, but I gotta open it. It says open gently. I don't see the. I'm scared now. What fell out? It's probably a new virus. I don't see anything in here, Kevin. Man, what was open gently? What? I think I got tricked. What is this? I don't see anything. Okay. I don't know what that was. Okay, and the only other thing I got was this Superman Treasury, which, caught up in the Superman fever. I heard Eric Breen on some show talking about how this is good, so I trust him. And so I think there's one cover that is a movie cover, and this is one that's drawn. Not sure I like his smile. It's a little weird looking. I guess the artwork's okay. What am I gonna do? It's better than I can draw. Okay, so I noticed that they're calling it a treasury. In the 70s, Marvel called their oversized big comics treasuries. DC called them limited collector's editions, but I guess, it's a wraparound. I guess of all the heroes and villains, look at that, man. It'll take you a while to, yeah, it's pretty good. Now let's see what this is like inside. There's always a thrill out of reading comics that were this big. So, anyway. So, apparently, Superman comics are selling really, really well now. Old, new, whatever. People are coming into comic stores that may have never come into them before and are buying Superman books. I remember it was 1994 or 5, whenever the Fox X-Men cartoon was on. And I was in a comic store in Longview, Texas, and I went in and I said, oh, you must be getting a lot of New customers, kids coming in that love the X-Men cartoon on Saturday morning. He said, no, it doesn't work that way. You know, I always thought it did because, you know, the Batman 1966 show caused kids to be really interested in buying Batman comics. But that was another time. That was 1966, 67. And now it's 1995, and it just doesn't work anymore. I guess because comic books aren't where the kids are. Kids aren't in comic stores. They're in the 7-Elevens and the spinner racks. And by 1995, that had died, unfortunately. Yeah, oh well. I don't know. Hearing the Fantastic Four movie is actually good. That's kind of incredible. Sorry about the mess here. I've been trying to clean. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll take these over and put them on top of a pinball machine until I can read them. Then I'll take them upstairs. Hold on. So what's been going on, ladies and gentlemen? Wait a second. I didn't open up one of those Fantastic Four books. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't open this one. My understanding is Marvel is reprinting the first 12 issues of the Fantastic Four. And then they also reprinted 48, 49, and 50 because of the Galactus tie-in with the movie that is coming out in 4 days. But I don't have the first 12 issues of Fantastic Four. Some of you might. Even back in the late 70s, early 80s, when I was buying a lot of issues of Fantastic Four under issue 100 for affordable prices, you know, and Lone Star Comics. I couldn't afford issues this early, or did I even see them? I don't even think they hit the store floor. They were probably done in back behind the counter, back in the back room with the big-time collectors. Anyway, it's sure great to have this. It's on slick paper. You're not going to have to. I swear, I may have dreamed it. Or maybe I heard Kevin tell me this. Maybe it was Meyer. I don't know. Somebody told me that Marvel is actually, or DC, or somebody is actually going to just start concentrating on reprinting their old stuff, and instead of, look at that, Alex Ross did was it Alex Ross did a painting of that, and also I think wasn't there a blacklight poster kind of that image? Man. Anyway, so this was always my favorite of all the Marvel superhero comics. It's Fantastic Four. This was I can only imagine how incredible this must have been to a kid during the Kennedy administration when this comic came out. They're trying to recreate this time period and this look in the new movie. I wish they had gone with that hairstyle on Sue Storm in the new movie, but I don't know. Everyone's saying it's good. It's really great and fantastic. No pun intended. But here's the problem. Then they're immediately going to leave their world and come into the universe of shit. They're going to, in the next movie that they appear in, they're going to be there with Ironheart and all these characters that nobody cares about. Marvel's gotten rid of Iron Man, Captain America. They've got the Hulk is I don't know. It's just like nothing is. They weren't able to sustain it. It's incredible how they just did a belly flop and started making really shitty movies. So an anomaly comes along, like apparently this Fantastic Four movie, but then they're just going to be thrown right into the world of shit. And the Spider-Man movies have been able to come out with and not be touched by the shitty movies around them. And same thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But just about everything else Marvel's done since the Endgame movie where they started killing everyone off, has just I don't know who. It's not that it's superhero fatigue. It's that they're making shitty movies about characters. I mean, I like the Falcon. I like that actor playing the Falcon. I don't want him to be Captain America, because Captain America's another guy. He was the perfect Falcon. I like the Falcon. Now there's no Falcon, and we're missing the Falcon. Yeah, they F up everything. The Red Guardian, okay, let's make him a fat guy with a beard. Why? Why are you going to do that? Why not? Why can't he be just as fit a guy as Captain America? Because he's from Russia, you got to make him this drunken fat guy. We started watching 2 days ago. It's really fascinating. Once you stumble on one video on YouTube, then you get linked to another and another. And there are all these young Russian women. It's mostly all women, young, mostly unmarried women in Russia, giving you tours of their apartments, their complexes, their friend's apartment, and how they fixed it up, and all the different buildings. They like say, this is a Khrushchev building, this is the Stalin buildings are beautiful. They classify the structures based on who was premier or president, whatever they call it over there at the time. And the Stalin ones have all this great statuary and very ornate. And, just depending on who was in charge of the country at the time, the style of architecture changes. Like we could say, oh, that's a 1950s apartment complex. That looks like that was built in the 70s. That looks like it's built in the 90s. They classify them by who was in charge. And I started wanting to do that myself and started saying instead, of saying this is a Silver Age comic, I'd say this is a Kennedy era comic, and this is a LBJ era, the Galactus trilogy. That's from the LBJ age of comics, and then the late Silver Age, 15-cent comics, and the 20-cent beginning of the Bronze Age. Well, those are Nixon. That's the Nixon age of comics. I think it's more interesting, the early Golden Age. That's the Roosevelt age of comics. That's the Truman age. The Eisenhower age of comics. I think that's more interesting because it also teaches you a little bit about history when you think of it in those terms. Because so that Superman Treasury is from the Trump age of comics. I don't know. Well, I could go upstairs. I want to do a show where I show Fantastic Four comics. I can't get these glasses clean. I got to get a new pair, man. I just need a new prescription. Man, I don't know. I don't know what else I can do to entertain you. Maybe I'll go upstairs later, maybe tomorrow, and show you through. We'll go through all the Magnus Robot Fighter comics, the Fantastic Four. Maybe we could go through Dr. Solar. That's how I always pronounced it. I don't know why. Yeah, the Russian girls will walk around with a stick like this, and as they walk down the streets of Moscow or whatever. Yeah, people hate the Russians because we've been told to hate the Russians, and they hate us because they've been told to hate us, but we're really all kind of the same. What's going on out here, man? There's Alan the cat sleeping. And over here is Callie the cat sleeping. And where is Ambrose the cat? Oh yeah, let's turn off the lights. I actually have the curtains open. I never do that. But it gives me some nice natural light. It's all right. How about that? No direct light comes in and gets on the posters. Is it 11 o'clock yet? It's about 10:08. Well, let's see. All the new stuff I've got. A file is here on top of the corral. I got to get all this stuff off the machines, man. And then I got these, my wife got these Danzig discs. I need to play them to make sure they're okay because she got them from someone on eBay. I need to make sure they're in decent condition before she leaves feedback, whatever. I got to do that. What else? Got these discs I'm supposed to get back to Jambo Comics about 5 years ago, but they're here, ready, pretty close to being ready. I've got some discs I've got to send to I got a message from Stanley J. Kirby, who lives not far from here, and he'd like to come visit me sometime in the next few weekends. He's telling me he really likes the radio shows I've been doing. I really appreciate that. I don't get a lot of feedback from those. I don't think a lot of people that are into comics are also into music. Some people are. He is. And you kind of have to be into music to understand what I'm doing and the humor behind it and everything. Well, oh well. Yeah, so apparently Superman and Crypto comics are flying off the shelves. Some cat knocked over my Elvira display. See, I got to walk around occasionally and see what kind of mischief they've been up to. And man, they're mischievous, all right. Oh man, I got these two big giant bags of Gentle Giant's dog food, but Drew won't eat it. She used to love it when she was a dog. When she was a dog, she's still a dog. When she was a puppy, sorry. And I don't know what to do. But then my wife and Kevin suggest that I mix it with other food, and then she'll eat it. I don't know. The cat is The cat is wanting to play with the tripod, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy. I don't know, man. What could I? I wonder if I want to see over here what Gold Key reprints I have. Sometimes I forget what I have. Yeah, I have the first volume of these reprints that came out from Dark Horse. I have some Dark Shadows reprints, and there was so much that was coming out about 15, 20 years ago. It was hard to keep track of it all. I got some Flash Gordon reprints, Captain Midnight. Oh, man. Oh, no. What is that cat doing? Oh, well. Oh, we got to see if we have any mail. That's something I got to do. Let me take you off the tripod. As the packages come separately from the regular mail. So let's see what I got. Nothing. It's a muggy hot day. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll see you guys later. Next time, unless you've got some requests, if there's something you want to see, put it down in the comments below. And I don't know what people want to see. I want to kind of go through the Fantastic Four comics, but that may not interest you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyway. Dr. Solar, however you want to pronounce it. And also the Magnus Robot Fighter and Turok. We'll go through that. Anyway, I'll see you later.